Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. A popular XRP chart analyst says that we have reached another decision point. But what I keep seeing is, even outside of analysis specific to XRP, it's that chart analysts are expecting something is going to happen sooner than later. And there's plenty of reasons to be bullish. So I'm going to show you a couple reasons that you should be very optimistic this bull run's not over. We're going to look at top indicators, at least a couple of them, because they ain't here yet, son. Let me tell you what, here, based on historic precedent, they certainly are not here. Also want to focus a good bit in this video on Ethereum, including the XRP Ethereum chart, because historically, Ethereum has led the way to altcoins finally rocketing for that euphoric blow-off top at the end of each cycle. And if history is to rhyme with itself, which, as you know, I certainly think is the most probable outcome, yeah, we're about there. It certainly looks like the Ethereum market, especially priced against Bitcoin, has roughly bottomed. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it's 1:50 p.m. Central Time, Sunday, February 23rd, 2025. XRP is $2.55. Bitcoin at $95,828. So it's another day where I get to say, we are just ranging. That's right. More sideways price action on the edge of your seat, aren't you? Well, maybe you're not feeling that way, but there's plenty of reasons to be optimistic, and also reason that there are all sorts of things indicating, yeah, the market's going to go higher. First, let's take a look at this. This is a post from chart analyst Dr. Magic. The chart on your screen is Bitcoin total balance and balance change of large holders. So what you have here is the white line, which is the price of Bitcoin. And then you have the purple line, which is large Bitcoin holders. Those are holders that have between 1,000 and 10,000 Bitcoin. So them the whales out there. And here's what Dr. Magic had to say about this. And if this doesn't instill confidence, then what more do you need? Look at this. Bitcoin whales, not only have they not distributed on higher time frame, and that means that they just haven't sold big picture, if you're looking to zoom out on a chart and you're looking at the larger, environment rather than short-term price action, he's saying they're not selling. So he says Bitcoin whales, not only have they not distributed on higher time frame, but in fact, they have been buying this sideways consolidation throughout February, which is the green arrow on the screen. He says, good luck dumping on their head, you effing shrimps. And this is indeed the case. So you can see, look at that purple line. Again, that's the large holders. As the price of Bitcoin has been coming down and moving sideways, what have the whales been doing? They have been purchasing. That's the smart money. The smart money behaves differently than the typical lemming retail speculators. As there is fear out there, obviously in the market, it is palpable. The whales, they're behaving differently. I'm telling you, the whales do not accumulate at the peak of cycles. That is not something they've ever done in history. Period. This would be you'd have to say this time is different to believe that the top's in for this cycle. And I simply don't believe that. So then if the top's not in, that means Bitcoin goes higher. Ultimately, yes, Bitcoin dominance will drop, but altcoins will follow, and we have that euphoric blow-off top like we've had every 4 years throughout crypto history. I do not believe for a moment this time is different. So that's why this is important for you. Even if you don't hold Bitcoin, you should be aware of this. Even if you're like me and you care most about XRP, maybe you're even like me and XRP is your largest holding. Whatever your situation is, this should matter to you. And so if you're wondering, is this a time to be fearful? The answer is absolutely not. And while nobody, and I admit this, of course, nobody can guarantee anything. And yes, fine. Technically, it's possible. This would be the first time in crypto history where the whales get wrong-footed and price goes down, and we'll see in another 4 years when the market comes back. Fine. What probability would you put on that, though? Single digit? I mean, technically possible. Maybe there's going to be a global black swan event, But outside of something like that, no. The whales do not get wrong-footed. Number go up here, folks. That's why this matters. It's just a matter of time. But honestly, after we pumped as much as we did after the election, is it actually surprising that we've had a bit of downward price action in the market and sideways? Do you remember weren't we at like 65,000 in Bitcoin around the election? Weren't we somewhere around there? I think that's about right. And then you get the election result, market's all happy, and then we are way higher. That was just months ago. The fact that we're consolidating, it's not like this is abnormal behavior. People need to stop flipping out, okay? Here's a post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. Altcoins real fun is about to start. Very important to keep it simple. And so he's showing here a cup and handle pattern. And he firmly believes that's what we're seeing right now and that we are indeed going to move to the upside. So this chart, this is showing the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin. That's all the altcoins out there. And this is the type of thing that I keep seeing from the analysts that I follow. Here's a post from chart analyst Dom. And by the way, to be clear, it is possible, even though the whales have accumulated, it's possible the number dips. It's not like the whales are these omniscient beings. They don't know exactly what's going to happen, but they don't get wrong-footed. So I'll just tell you this, even though it's possible we could see a Bitcoin tank to the downside, that I just want to note, it would still be within a particular range. That would not be abnormal. Even if you see Bitcoin go into the 80,000s, historically speaking, that wouldn't be abnormal. It doesn't mean that the whales made some sort of wrong decision. It's that even the whales can't know exactly what the day-to-day oscillations in terms of price action are. But they're showing incredible confidence that, of course, this market's not over. This isn't the top. So I certainly acknowledge that in the short term, it's possible that you could see the price go lower, in which case XRP and everything else almost certainly will go down with it. But that doesn't mean that the sky's falling into the end of the world. It just means it's just like, welcome to crypto. This is what it does. This is what it's been doing the whole time I've been here. I've been here over 7 years. This is normal. This is what it's doing. But this is what shakes people out. And so here, chart analyst Dom wrote, Bitcoin just needs to break out already. Send it to $85,000 if that's what we've been waiting on. Think if we do land there, why did it take 3 weeks of consolidation first? Inefficient market at its finest. And so he's not saying that it is going to go to the 80,000s or 85,000 specifically is the number he cited there. But it seems like he's basically saying, like, do something, like this is the point where something should happen. And I do keep seeing that sentiment from tons of different chart analysts, frankly. So he's acknowledging it could do that, but it's weird if it's taking that long to get down there. That's all. And so even the analysts that I see, that I follow, that think that that is at least possible, in terms of probability, what I see is that it's more likely, most of them think that the number would go up rather than down. I'm just warning you that even if it does go down, like, it might scare you, doesn't mean that everything's on fire. I mean, you could say temporarily, I guess, but I don't think that this is some sort of doomsday indicator. Here's another post from Mikey Bull Crypto. He said, macro bottom indeed, alt season is next. This is an ETH BTC chart, so ETH priced against Bitcoin. Now, do you remember throughout 2024 how I hammered this point into your heads, like throughout the entire year, that XRP was finding its bottom against Bitcoin? And I pointed back that throughout history, literally, I'd show you a chart going back over a decade, down, I mean, literally to 2014 and a little bit before that. And I showed that every time in history, when XRP was priced that poorly against Bitcoin, that marked the bottom. Now, when we zoomed out on a chart, it looks like a singular moment, but in reality, if you zoom in, that could have been a number of weeks or months or so on and so forth, but that was roughly speaking the moment, right? So the bottom was in at those points. And so, if you zoom out enough on an XRP chart with what just happened in 2024, well, that was a big chunk of the year, but we were in bottom territory like pretty much the whole time in 2024, right? For XRP priced against Bitcoin. Because markets find bottoms. Markets do, unless you thought that was the moment, this is the first time in history XRP's going to zero because reasons against Bitcoin, that's it, it's all over. No, that represents a maximum point of opportunity. And I hammered that point in your heads throughout 2024 because history rhymes with itself, and it's silly to think that we'd have the whole market go up and XRP wouldn't participate, especially when it finally has legal clarity. Now, that never made any sense. And so that is what happened, isn't it? It did go to the upside eventually. Didn't know exactly what day, what week, what month, what quarter even for sure. You didn't technically know for sure. But you know that looked like the thing that ultimately marked the bottom. Well, here's the same thing with Ethereum. This is why you should be happy and excited. So now we have, instead of ETH priced against Bitcoin, rather than XRP priced against Bitcoin, as I was just discussing a moment ago, and I talked about throughout all of last year, here we have ETH priced against Bitcoin. And what do we find? Well, he says macro bottom. Look at this. Look at this trend line. And he's arguing, it's the same point that I was making about XRP throughout last year. Eventually, when you have such disparity price-wise in an asset against Bitcoin, like, the markets do find bottoms. And so when market participants finally sniff out that something is undervalued, the market corrects. This is one of those moments for Ethereum, if history is to rhyme with itself. And so, yeah, I'll always say, like, technically I don't know for sure, just like technically I didn't know last year for XRP. But did I believe with high conviction that XRP absolutely was in bottom territory? Yes. I made that very clear. I feel the same way here. Why wouldn't I? History is rhyming with itself. Look at this going back to 2016. I'd show you back further, except for ETH is not as old as XRP, so I can't do that. This is the beginning of time here, folks. Look at what has happened every time. This time is not different. Now, the reason that I'm showing you this is because, well, a couple things. When ETH goes, again, the whole market goes. Also, I believe that even if in the short term ETH outpaces XRP, which is possible, I believe XRP is going to catch up. I believe there's a really good chance of that, and we're going to see the same type of jockeying for a position for that number 2 spot in market cap that we saw in 2017. That's totally plausible. Now, and so the implications for XRP price-wise, should we see that again, are staggering. Like, big number. More on that in a second, though. Here's a post from chart analyst Malleus talking about Ethereum. He says, Ethereum looks good, as we are seeing nice reactions from higher time frame demand zone with 1 week relative strength index reversing and making higher low, which is nice to see. On top of that, we have ETH Solana approaching major resistance, so that's this chart right here, which I expect to be flipped quite soon. 1 week relative strength index is poking into resistance 2, clock is ticking. As I am saying for some time now, also confident the inverted ETH dominance was in a blow-off top phase recently, meaning it will probably start reversing soon with aggression. And so you can see it is true that Ethereum, throughout much of 2024, it seemed like it was performing pretty well. And it was. Actually, I'm pretty sure didn't ETH get into didn't it get above 4,000 for some period of time? If memory serves anyway. Let's look over the last 12 months. I believe it did. Yeah, it was up there briefly. Look at that, over $4,000. Oh, actually, even at the end of December. Okay, I was thinking earlier in the year. I guess it got up there too. Yeah, it still did. It still did, even for much of last year. This is what I was thinking of earlier in the year, like March and stuff. But yeah, so I guess so fine, it did even in December here. But what he was highlighting, let me get back to this, is that the dominance throughout the year was increasing and kind of making a bit of a correction here. But again, since markets find bottoms, if ETH is absolutely going to go on a rip, you could imagine what's going to happen here. So again, he said it was in a blow-off top phase, which you can see visually right there, meaning it will probably start reversing soon with aggression. Then he also said, times of ETH outperformance are coming, and soon people gonna start chasing. I believe that is what's most probable. I think Ethereum is absolutely going to go on a tear. I want to see that, and I am an ETH holder. I've been holding ETH since 2017 also. It's the first crypto I ever purchased. And so, yes, I want to see that, of course, but I'm more excited to see that, not because I hold ETH, but believe it or not, honestly, it's because I know what comes next with that historically. It's alt season, and I have a feeling that it's going to be ridiculous for XRP specifically. Here's a post from chart analyst Mustache. He said, this is a Ethereum BTC chart, by the way. He clearly agrees with this idea. So he says, I don't know how else to show you that ETH BTC is highly bullish. 1.5 year long bullish divergence weekly, 4 year long downtrend line touched. Price is at the lower end of a descending broadening wedge that has been forming over 2.5 years. Higher. So, yep. That's the same. And so this is more zoomed in. This isn't going back to 2015 like that other chart I was showing you from, who was it? Was that from Mikey? Yeah, from Mikey Bull Crypto. So this is a little bit more zoomed in, but you can see what's been happening over the last few years. And again, markets find bottoms, unless this is the first time and we're all wrong and it goes to zero, but I don't see any reason to believe that is indeed the case. I think that markets are just doing what they do and finding bottoms, and then they correct. That's it. And this is going to be great for XRP. Here's a post from chart analyst Dr. Profit. He said, few months ago, everyone kept hating XRP at 40 to 50 cents. It's exactly the time in which I begged my followers to go big into XRP. Now we see the same for Ethereum, one of the most hated coins currently. Trust me, the most hated ones will become your most loved ones. Loading. Yep, that's exactly how it goes. Nobody cared about XRP when it was 40, 50 cents. I mean, maybe you listening did, but people weren't paying attention. And then suddenly they were. People chase green candles. That's what happens. Same for Ethereum. Here's a post from chart analyst Bob Ye. XRP flipping Ethereum is inevitable. in my opinion. Okay, so just think about this, and this is fun and interesting. So let's say, just for fun, that even at the current price level, let's say that Ethereum just was stuck here, and I don't believe it will be. But look at this. So the market cap for XRP, it's a little below 150 billion. Ethereum's about 330 billion, so about double this. And so, I mean, at the level we're at now, basically, I mean, if XRP hits the current Ethereum market cap of about $330 billion, with Ethereum currently at $2,800, then the price of XRP would be about $5.70. And so, price would really only have to slightly more than double from here to get there. And then suddenly XRP, at the same market cap, XRP would be at $5.70. Is that a big ask? I don't think that would be that hard to happen. I think when it goes, it's just going to go. And that might just be to start. Here's a post from Crypto Insight UK. XRP ETH back to the level I discussed a few days ago. And here's the XRP ETH chart on your screen. He says, could we see a bounce here? I do really feel like XRP could steal the show again. However, I also think this Ethereum FUD with price reacting positively shows sellers of Ethereum are close to exhausted. Interesting times. Hopefully it means a market-wide push to the upside. All right. So there certainly will be individual moments where Ethereum's running and maybe XRP isn't. And that's normal, and that's not weird. And then shortly after that, XRP will probably play catch-up if there is such a scenario as that. And when it comes, though, this is where it's going to get really fun for XRP holders, because I think there's a really good chance we're going to see some old-school price action like in 2017 and early 2018, when XRP and ETH were fighting for that number 2 spot in market cap. And that's why it's exciting, because, again, even with the price Ethereum is at right now, if XRP were battling, you're still looking at $5.70 for XRP, even if they just start battling where Ethereum is now. So then imagine Ethereum going even higher. You can imagine what those numbers would look like. Double-digit price for XRP is not off the table. Certainly not off the table. Here is what chart analyst Dark Defender had to say. It says, hi all, XRP reached another decision point where $2.60 plays a crucial role. Above this level and significantly above $2.77, the second leg of the bullish weekly structure is expected to continue. RSI and price have higher lows, so we can expect a positive break. The key is to monitor $2.60 level where XRP is just under this level. Excuse me. And he's noting a key support of $2.33, and then resistances of $2.60, $2.85, and then ultimately $5.85. And that $5.85 level, again, that's pretty close to $5.70, which is about where XRP would be if it reached the current market cap of Ethereum at these suppressed levels. Not a big ask here. So again, as he says, XRP has reached another decision point, but really the whole market has here. They're saying that, analysts are saying the same thing about Bitcoin, because the market moves in tandem. That shouldn't really be surprising to you. I'm just saying that what's most likely, even if there is some sort of additional dip to whatever degree in the short term, the answer is still number go up. This cycle isn't over. There are always going to be shakeouts. We just saw one on February 3rd, right? I believe that was the date. With that mass liquidation, XRP got down to $1.70, $1.80, whatever it was. And the whole market tanked. Biggest liquidation of it in crypto history, literally. So not that we'd necessarily see that again, but you can see another shakeout, sure. You always see these things in bull markets. That is to be expected. But I just think it doesn't make sense to lose the level of excitement. I certainly haven't. I've been excited for many months. I was excited leading up to the election, but especially once that went and you saw XRP go on a rip, I've maintained that level of excitement because this is the time where it does make sense to feel that. Let yourself feel that if this is the moment where it makes logical sense to feel that, and I say it does. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.